Humans are born with a strong inclination to imitate. In fact, very young infants have been observed imitating facial expressions. That's amazing. Makes me think of an experience I had some 40 years ago when Susan and I were in the circuit work. A sister told me that her little 5-year-old son was looking in a mirror and making various expressions with his face and eyes. His mother asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I can't do like Brother Lett. I'll never be a circuit overseer." Well, I'm sure he soon learned that voluminous facial expressions are not a requirement for circuit work. In fact, they could be a disadvantage. By the way, thank you for putting up with me all these years.
I was not expecting that. Voluminous expressions are not a requirement for circuit work. In fact, they could be a disadvantage. He's basically describing the way he talks. Well, he is describing the way he talks, and he's accepting that it has its advantages and disadvantages. He's accepting that for some people it's going to work, and for other people it's not going to work. Of course, it would be easier if he just spoke normally, which we know he can do. I'm not going to play the clip, but if you really want to see Stephen Lett speaking a little bit more normally, there is a video I made on televangelism, thumbnail here, and in that video you see Stephen Lett addressing Bethelites, so addressing his colleagues essentially. And it's interesting to see that when he's addressing his colleagues, he doesn't completely dial it down with the silly facial expressions, but he does just dial it down a notch or two.
Just to start off, I would really, again, like to say that the teaching committee truly appreciates what all of you are doing, the challenges you face, but you overcome it with Jehovah's help and working together in unity, unlike the days of Brother Flodine. But we really appreciate it, and you can be sure Jehovah deeply appreciates. That's one thing about Jehovah. You know, people in the world, you can work your heart out, some company, and they just dismiss you, and there's really no appreciation. But Jehovah, what you do for him, he really appreciates it.
So it's very much under his control. This is a conscious decision he's chosen to make. The easiest thing for me would be for him to speak naturally. I think we all find it more compelling when someone expresses themselves in a natural, believable, relatable way. And this is the closest that we're ever going to get, probably, to Stephen Lett acknowledging that the way he speaks works for some people, but probably doesn't work for others.